Okay. Hi guys, Charles Purcell here. It's 7:46 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday, September 10th. I just heard the news about Charlie Kirk, who, as you probably already know, was shot and killed while speaking in Utah today. I needed to. I felt an obligation to come on and speak with you a little bit. I recorded tomorrow's podcast, tomorrow's episode, dated September 11. I recorded that late this afternoon, early evening, and so I didn't know about this obviously when I recorded it. So there's going to be no mention of that at all. But I felt I should come on and just tell you my feelings because we live in such perilous times. This is a momentous occasion. That's poorly worded. It's momentous. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't even need to be said, but it does need to be said over and over again that we denounce all violence here at the log. Maybe I should say it more often. I don't know. I do say it. I am very passionate and I use pretty harsh language, especially about the current regime and the threat to democracy and the threat to the nation. My disdain for some people who appear to have disdain for most Americans. So my rhetoric is harsh at times. I take no pleasure, not even for a moment, of the news of the day. I feel only sorrow, especially for his family and friends, and mostly for his children. I think I heard he has a boy and a girl, just a couple years apart. I have two children, a boy and a girl. They're grown now, but just a couple years apart. So the human side of this is just unquestionably certain and one-sided in this partisan land we live in. It's 100% one-sided. It's just nothing but sorrow and grief for his family and especially for his kids. Now, I do need to say this as well. I feel exactly about the death of Charlie Kirk as I felt about the death of the Minnesota state legislator and her husband. I feel exactly about Charlie Kirk's death as I feel every time there's a school shooting. I feel exactly about his death as I feel every day when I read the headlines and hear of another 5 or 6 or 10 Gazans who've died of starvation, or the dozen or 20 or 30 who've been shot and killed while trying to get food for their families. I feel exactly the same sorrow and grief as I felt on October 7th when I heard about the Israelis killed in the Hamas attack. I feel about the death of Charlie Kirk exactly as I feel about the death of a man just several blocks from where I live who was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting. I don't rank these deaths. One doesn't hit me harder than another. I feel exactly the same way about all of them, about each of them. Now, having said that, this particular murder has some special consequences. As I said, we live in perilous times under an autocratic fascist regime who will no doubt use this because this is their MO. In fact, I talk about it in the upcoming episode you're going to hear, the one I recorded earlier today. How they use crime, how they use violence for their political ends. They will absolutely do that. 100%. Again, it's mid-evening Wednesday night here. I haven't read or heard any news yet except the first report. Again, I was busy recording and editing. Then I had some dinner, and then by the time I sat down to look at my phone and maybe watch some news, it was long after this event had happened. So I'm not sure where they've already gone. I'm talking to you in a moment now when I haven't yet discovered that. But I feel very safe in predicting that those who cynically use the violent deaths of others to win their own political points will be out in droves. Now, I could say, based on the events of today, let's please have serious gun safety laws. And I would be accused of what I just said, taking advantage of a situation to make my political point. Of course, I don't quite see it that way, but we can have that debate. I don't mind having debates. I'm not going to cry any crocodile tears over Charlie Kirk. I didn't know him personally. His views were abhorrent in many ways. That doesn't change the way I feel about his death. The United Healthcare CEO, the child in Gaza just yesterday, shot in her bed while sleeping. All lives and all violent deaths are equal to me. There's some special circumstances here because of his position as a political activist, a pundit, commentator, influencer, whatever you want to call it. There is a danger that this incident could escalate into more violence. I'm here to ask you, please, for the love of God, don't go in that direction. If you're a listener to my programs, please know that I denounce violence, period. Always. Always. Not when it suits me. Always. Use your words. Don't fucking shoot people. So, as I said, the next episode you're going to hear is scheduled to drop at 5 a.m. the morning of September 11, 2025. I recorded that and edited it before I heard the news. So that's why I wanted to come on and talk to you here. And I'll post this right now. Okay. I love you. I'll see you out there.